Hey guys, back in my movie room and back in my familiar corner, familiar to me anyway. I like to film here. I don't really like the look of all this stuff as well as I like the stuff for the look of the stuff behind me, but I always enjoy the backdrop of DVDs and collectible stuff and all those goodies. So I like to leave that. This lamp just is out of place here, but it's the only place I can think to put it right now. I really want to put it off here to the side because when I put it on, it just has a glow behind me that's not good. Um, this came from my good friends at Arrow Films. Well, they're not really my friends, but I like to buy from them, and I like to think they like me as a customer. Um, this I bought as kind of a birthday thing to myself. When this movie was released, I was just a young kid, but I remember hearing from some of the older kids about it. And it was rated X when it came out. When I say came out, I mean in the theaters. Because back when I was a kid, there was no VHS tapes. Um, you couldn't own a movie as far as I remember. I mean, they had like 8 millimeter movies and stuff you could get, and I suppose real collectors could get 16 millimeters somehow. I don't know, but there was a big reels that you had to get and put it on the thing. And I remember when I was a kid, we had silent movies. I remember Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, was one of my favorites. Uh, we had Abbott Costello, Keystone Cops, all silent. There was no sound on the thing. Anyway, back in the day. And thank God we've come a long way. We can own stuff like this. Now, this was X-rated. I don't think it deserves an X rating, but I'll tell you what, it's a pretty strong R. So let me get at it. It's an Arrow film, as I said. It's a Blu-ray. It might be two. Might be a Blu-ray and a DVD. I can't recall if this is both or not. It might be. Well, let's see. I haven't opened it yet. So get out of the bubble wrap that it comes in. And it is, I don't know, I still can't tell if it's Blu-ray and DVD. Doesn't matter. I don't think it is, but it's got a crap load of special features on it. I really wanted this movie. And it brings back, I have seen it. Over the years, I sought it out, like on YouTube and things, and bootleg copies. But this is supposed to be a pristine copy. I said I haven't opened it yet. It contains strong violence and torture. So it's a horror movie of sorts, but it's really about witchcraft and so on. And I'm talking about The Mark of the Devil. This movie, like I said, was somewhat legendary when I was a kid. It was whispered about. People who went to the theaters and saw it talked about it, and I heard from the older kids in the neighborhood, about some of the scenes, and it certainly was, for a young boy, was taboo for sure. But look at the extras. Look at the special features on this thing. Look at the list of them. Just gives you a sense for what's on here. And if I can read this, high definition Blu-ray, of course, 1080p, and standard definition DVD. So there's both of the feature. Transferred from original film elements, available uncut in the UK for the first time. Optional English and German audio. Optional English subtitles for the hard of hearing and the deaf. Newly translated English subtitles, they always have those for the German audio. Audio commentary by Michael Armstrong, moderated by Callum Waddell. Mark of the Times, exclusive feature-length documentary from High Rising Productions on the emergence of the new wave of British horror directors that surfaced during the 60s and 70s, featuring contributions from Michael Armstrong, Norman J. Warren, and a bunch of other people. What else is on here? Hallmark of the Devil, author and critic Michael Gingold looks back at Hallmark releasing, the controversial and confrontational distributor that introduced Mark of the Devil to American cinemas. Interviews with composer Michael Holm and actors Udo Kier, he's pretty famous, Herbert Fox, and Gabby Fitch, I believe it says, and others here. Mark of the Devil Now and Then, a look at the film's locations and how they appear today. That'll be cool. Outtakes, so that'll be interesting. A gallery, reversible sleeve featuring the original and newly commissioned artwork by Graham Humphreys. This is the newly commissioned, I'm assuming, because I don't remember this. So this is really cool looking. And there's some beautiful women in it. This guy is evil as crap. Um, yeah, Udo Kier is here. He's, I think, kind of a hero. I don't remember who this dude is. What else is on here? Illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film. I always love that kind of stuff. Plus an interview with Reggie Nader. All illustrated with original stills and artwork. So, yeah, what a great film. When I say great, this is no Gone with the Wind, folks. It's no Lawrence of Arabia. Thank you, Sam, for that. It's no... it's not even an Alien. Which I prefer to Aliens, by the way. But it's really good. It's really good. It's disturbing. It was fairly well done. I mean, from my recollection of the film was it was fairly well made. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm sure it was somewhat low budget, but the acting was good. The evil people were truly evil, and the innocents certainly portrayed pain and suffering as well as you can. There are some scenes here that I will not describe, but torturing women in ways that you can imagine would be painful. With hot skewers and piercing things, and it's a disturbing movie in a lot of ways. Yet, this is the kind of stuff that went on during the Salem witch trials, and during not just Salem, but as they went in Europe, as they went across. I think this is more European, by the way. It was not so much Salem as they went across the countryside, and sought to rid the world of witchcraft and witches and devils, and it was not unusual if crops didn't grow, to blame it on a witch or blame it on someone who had the devil in them. And you've all seen that in different movies. Well, this one, brings it to a head, sort of like Witchfinder General, the Vincent Price classic, in my opinion. I think it's one of his better roles, where he plays a similar person who goes around finding witches. And there's money to be had in finding witches, and also benefits to finding witches, because if you can find a comely lass and convince her that you can make things go one way or the other, may have some personal benefits in it for you, and you'll see that played out a little bit in Mark of the Devil as well. Doesn't mean they let her. Doesn't mean they're really going to let you go, but it's at least it sounds like a good line. So I was going to open this, but this has the stuff at the bottom that makes it easy once you find where it begins. I just haven't found where it begins yet. And this. I do like the shrink wrap on these, because unlike some of these where you have to poke around at the edges, once you find out how to open it at the bottom here, there's a little string that goes around the bottom on all the arrows. I thought I had the piece right here, and I guess I did not. You can kind of make your own edge if you just break it, but yeah, it's not where the edge is. Where's the edge here, folks? I think that is it. It'll be right here. Ha! Once you find the edge of it, just this piece of says Blu-ray all the way around it. Once you take that off like that, it's a piece of cake. You get that off, the bottom just slides off like nothing, and the top just slides off. And voila. Trash down there. Might get a better look at the artwork now without the plastic on it. Beautiful artwork. And I'll show you the reversible, because a lot of people like to see that. 2 discs, and they look identical. So you've seen one, you've seen both. There is the Blu-ray, DVD. You've seen it again. Okay. Oh, cool. A rollerball advert. And I've got a lot of these now that are in here. A lot of the Arrow stuff is in here. And then you've got the booklet. This gives you an idea. The pulling out of the tongue would be an effective way, right, to torture. This was the original This is the original poster, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's the original artwork or not. I guess we'll find out. I don't know if I can show this, so let me see. This brings back memories, I'll tell you that. Just seeing the evil dude there. Let me see what I can show you here, if anything. Yeah, I'll show you a couple things. Okay, got Kavli Lass, and then Udo Kier, who's the hero in this, I believe, or would-be hero. The evil dude, man, this is, yeah. This is the evil dude. The guy. Once you've seen this movie, this guy's evil, man. So I'm not going to go through the whole booklet, but it's fairly thick. 43 pages. Very pious looking lady there. So you get interviews and pictures and so on and so forth throughout this. Another idea here. Settings are, basic but effective. Let me see what the alternate cover art looks like. I believe it's going to be what that poster looked like, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's not. Well, that's cool. That's cool too. It's a cool cover. That's the original cover, I guess. I don't recall that at all, but I like both covers. I'm going to stick with the one that's. I believe I'm going to go with this one. I don't like the white one as much, although it's a lot easier to read the print. I should have read it off of this. If I knew that was the case, I would have done that. It wasn't quite as easy to read on the white, on the orange on the back. But a great book, great rollerball thing in there. Really happy to add this to the collection. It's one that, as I was growing up, certainly I heard of and knew of, and it took me years to seek it out and eventually finally see the thing. Never saw it in the theater, obviously. But good to own it in the collection, and Arrow, I'm sure, will do a great job with it. So I will be looking forward to watching it. I may even do a review. It's been years since I saw it. So, all right, guys, that is Mark of the Devil on Arrow Films. If you like that kind of a movie, that torture type movies, a lot of special effects on it, making of, interviews with some of the cast members. It's from the 60s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Probably late 60s, if I had to guess. Maybe even early 70s, somewhere around there. I'm trying to remember how old I was when I heard of it. But somewhere in that range. Yeah, that is Mark of the Devil. I would recommend it. And I'll do a review eventually on it, and you'll see more about it then. If you have any questions about Mark of the Devil, don't hesitate to ask. If you saw the movie, what did you think of it? If you haven't seen the movie, what do you think of those kind of torture movies that were very popular, and the whole concept of torturing the witches, whether it be in Salem or in Europe? What do you think of that? Usually it was the Vatican, believe it or not, that I think a lot of these people came from the Vatican, not directly, but they were cardinals and bishops and things like that were there to free they were corrupt ones, obviously, but such was religion back in the day. So what's your thoughts on that whole concept? I look forward to your comments, and like I said, if you have any questions about the film, I'm sure I'll be watching it in the near future. I'd be happy to answer any direct questions you guys may have about it. All right, take care, guys.